Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2009 Cadillac CTS Performance. Up front is a 3.6 liter direct injection V6, and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this CTS for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a Cadillac, AC's pumping, it's a hot day, I'm enjoying that. But the second reason is that this is kind of an oddball car because this was the last stop before the V in terms of performance, so it did get more horsepower than the standard CTS. This is also a 1-year only color. It has a very interesting interior and is pretty well spec'd out, so we have a lot to talk about here today in the CTS Performance Sedan. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 3.6 liter direct injection V6. Well, the reason I specify that, because I normally don't in my videos, is that you could get a CTS with a non-direct injection 3.6 liter V6. So there were technically 4 engines offered here in the CTS for 2009. At the base level, you had the 3-liter, 3.0 liter V6. That was a simple holdover engine from the mid-2000s. Then you had the 3.6 liter. Then you had the 3.6 liter direct injection, which is this engine making 304 horsepower. And then you had the 6.2 liter supercharged engine that was found in the CTS V. So as I mentioned, this is the CTS Performance. It's that last stop before the V. So this is the most power you could get without buying a V. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's fine. It's doing the job. I don't really care all that much about it. It is what it is. And last but not least, interestingly enough, this is actually all-wheel drive. Not necessarily what I would expect. All right, here we go. 304 horsepower. Solid. Very solid. Is this blowing my kitty whiskers off my face? No, but that's what the CTS V was for. That was meant to make your brain into soup pudding. This was just kind of upped performance, something above the norm if you wanted that extra, but you didn't need something that would breathe fire and get 4 mpg on the way to Jewel Osco. So this was a nice middle ground, and you feel that with the power. It's not blowing me away, but it's definitely not nothing, and the blood is pumping this morning. The ride is nice. It does have the performance suspension as well for this trim level, which is not terrible. It is stiffer than a regular CTS, however, it's not breaking my spine, which is definitely nice. And visibility is okay, but nothing from the late 2000s really had great visibility, so this fit in with its competitors quite a bit. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 5 gauges. Off to the left is my tachometer, in the center is the speedometer, and off to the right is the coolant temperature, fuel, and oil pressure. On the steering wheel, we do have our cruise control settings off to the left, as well as we have skip track and volume off to the right. The steering wheel is also like a dark brown. I hope it comes across on camera, but it is a really nice, like dark walnut almost. And then off to the left, we do have some more wood accents with a climate vent, our gauge dimmer switch, and our information for the gauge cluster screen. Moving on to the door, we have 2 levels of memory seats, latch you get in and out, power mirrors, power windows, and power locks. And moving into the center, we do have a raisable center display screen, so when you turn the vehicle on, this actually comes up out of the dash. Kind of cool to see that. It does not have a backup camera, and it's not very modern. However, I mean, it is 16 years old, so I can't really fault it too much for that. It is touchscreen, which is definitely super nice, so I guess it gets some credit there. Down below that, we do have a analog clock, volume to the left, tune to the right. We have our navigation screen raise and lowering. We have traction control, our hazard switch, our brightness settings, and we have tons and tons of buttons for that infotainment screen. And we also have this little record button. So I actually talked to some of the engineers that designed this vehicle. This record button would allow you to record a song that you heard on the radio and play it back. This is super illegal. You can't just record someone's music and have it for your own. This is basically a LimeWire button in the car. So GM got sued left, right, and sideways for having this button I don't believe it works, but I'm not going to try because I like to stay out of cuffs. Down below that, we have our climate controls. It's kind of split up, so we have like where to send it and fan speed in the center, but then off to the left and right, we have individual temperature, heated seat, and ventilated seats for the front 2 occupants, and both the driver and the passenger get their own little display saying the temperature, where to send it, all of that. So really, really cool to see that. Then we do get a little openable cubby with a 12-volt outlet, shifter in the center, and cup holder, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test. However, as most do in this era, it unfortunately fails. Then we do get a dual opening center console, so you can open up the top and the main portion, kind of keep things separated. And then we have the seats. The seats are heated, ventilated, power, and memory. They are this really nice light tan color. More specifically, they are cashmere with coca accents. Nice to see that. And they're comfortable. They work well. I like them. And that's a good thing to see out of a Cadillac. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a backseat review. So these door handles are actually like touch operated. So basically when you touch them, it tells the car that you're trying to open it and then unlatches it. A similar system was used for the C6 Corvette. They go bad after a while. So even though it is unlocked, nothing. So gotta love GM. There we go. Getting into the back seat, however, it's decent. It's not the best back seat I've ever been in. My head is coming really close to the ceiling. Now, with my sunglasses on, they were hitting the ceiling. With them off, I'm 5'11", not a small guy. I fit fine, but I'm right at the cusp. So if you're 6'1", 6'2", you're not gonna fit back here very happily, unfortunately. I do get a center armrest with cup holders like that. The same cashmere leather carries on back here. I get some lights over my shoulder. Very nice to see that. Maybe not. There we go. There it is. This is the back seat of a CTS from 2009. It's not bad. It's not my favorite, but not bad. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Please don't be child locked. Thank God. All right, around the back of the 09 CTS, and we do have a trunk popper here on the key fob. Come up here, and we can pull this up, and we have some really cool artifacts. I say artifacts from 2009, but we do get the original owner's manual. Very cool to see that. We have the navigation system, how to use that, and the original window sticker. So I'll do a quick pan of all of the different options that this vehicle has. The original base price was $38,000, with the options was $51,850. So quite a few amount of options on here. We also have the safety warranty and all the different things that you got. This was originally sold from Cadillac in Naperville, which we've actually filmed at in the past, which is very cool. But here is the rear trunk. Over here is where you'll actually find the car's battery. So kind of weird to find it in the trunk, but that's what European cars were doing. And Cadillac in this era was starting to go after the European brands like BMW and Mercedes, so they moved it back there as well. Very interesting to see the back of a CTS. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I really do like the look of the CTS. This is kind of an understyled vehicle. It's not very brazen, it's not very in your face, and I actually like that. And as I mentioned, this is a 1-year only paint color called Blue Diamond Premium Paint, so just Blue Diamond. And what's cool about it is that it is a nice blue, and it has a lot of flake in it, which a lot of Cadillac and GM colors do, but they actually use like a goldish, copperish, sandyish flake in it. So when you get close to it with the light, it's actually not like a pearl. It's a very interesting color, and I think it looks absolutely wonderful. And again, was only offered for 2009, and it was a special order color, meaning you couldn't just walk onto the lot and they'd have one of these sitting there unless someone backed out of their order. You had to go to Cadillac and say, hey, I want this, this, and this, and oh, by the way, I want it in Blue Diamond. So very, very cool to see that. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the CTS Performance from 2009? Well, this has been a good experience. There's a couple little GM issues here and there. Some things that have worn down, some interior quality control things, blah, blah, blah. ABS is acting up, things like that. But overall, I think the ending point that I wanted to make with this car is that you don't always need the fire-breathing model in order to have a good time or enjoy a product. Yes, the Honda Civic Type R is the top dog, and it's crazy good. But the Civic Si GTI or Civic Sport are still fantastic vehicles. Same with the Corvette. The ZR1 is lovely, but a base C6 is still going to get you there. That's how I feel about this car. Yes, the CTS-V from this era, and I've driven 2 of them, they're fantastic. They will melt your pupils into, well, I already said soup pudding. They'll melt your pupils and then refreeze them into push pops. How about that? Those cars are insanely good, but that doesn't mean that taking one step down means that it's not good. This is a luxurious car with sporty accents. If you see a wide open road, you can nail the throttle and have fun. But when you're driving to and from work, when you're going to school, when you have that rough, long day, it's not screaming in your ear 24/7. Right now here in Chicago, we've had a lot of rain recently. I would not want to be in the rain in a CTS-V. That is Spin City. This has the all-wheel drive, and you still have that great V6 up front, but there's a little bit more confidence there. This is a more usable vehicle. And so yes, it's fun to go see a horror movie, but do I want every piece of content I watch to be a jump scare or gory? No, that's a once in a while kind of thing. This is an everyday kind of car. It's comfortable, it's quick, it's fun. It checks all of the boxes just enough, and I like that a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Maury for letting me borrow his CTS for today's video. He's been absolutely wonderful to work with. Although this is the first of his cars I've reviewed, he's been present for a couple other reviews. He also came out to the Sack Lunch Cruise this year, which was absolutely wonderful, so I appreciate his support. He's absolutely wonderful, and I look forward to working with him again soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.